You have $9 billion, that's $9,000 million missing in the last few years. It's alleged to be fraudulently stolen. They're sending money, the Somali community in Minnesota sending money, big money, overseas. They're contributing money, big money, to Democrat candidates and elected officials. The Democratic political machine in Minnesota has benefited from this criminal network of Somali immigrants who have systematically stolen billions of dollars of federal charitable money, essentially.
Guys, pause for a second. Did you hear that number? 9,000 million. That is $9 billion of your money, allegedly vanishing into thin air in Minnesota. We're about to watch Representative Clay Higgins, Captain Clay himself, absolutely dismantle the Minnesota Democrat machine. And folks, he isn't just talking about bad bookkeeping. He is talking about a full-blown criminal network operating right under Governor Tim Walz's nose. We're talking about fake childcare centers with no children, money being funneled overseas, and a political machine that is allegedly punishing the whistleblowers who tried to stop it. If you ever wondered why some politicians like Ilhan Omar are so obsessed with filling up their districts with unvetted mass migration, this video might just give you the answer. It's starting to look like they aren't building a community. They're turning the state into a massive fraud zone to fund their own power.
And Ms. Robbins, you're the chair of the Fraud Prevention Oversight Committee, is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, you're members of that committee as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
All right, so you three collectively, America should clearly understand you have an excellent perspective what's going on inside Minnesota, in specifically regards to the fraud that we are investigating and discussing today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we have a particular community, a Somali community in Minnesota that has stunning percentages are participating in government programs where they're drawing a lot of money, big money. This has been discussed and revealed and reported and is factual. You have a tremendous amount of criminal fraud taking place that one of my colleagues, the gentleman from the other side of the aisle, mentioned transparency. I would argue that from a regular American's perspective.
And this is where the story shifts, from fraud to something darker. Because theft is bad, but what happens after someone notices the theft? That's what separates corruption from organized protection.
Perspective is quite transparent that something criminal is going on when you have billions of dollars disappearing into child care centers with no children in them, and you have a tremendous transfer of wealth into a relatively small immigrant community. You have $9 billion, that's $9,000 million missing in the last few years. It's alleged to be fraudulently stolen. They're sending money, the Somali community in Minnesota sending money, big money, overseas. They're contributing money, big money, to Democrat candidates and elected officials. The Democratic political machine in Minnesota has benefited from this criminal network of Somali immigrants who have systematically stolen billions of dollars of federal charitable money, essentially. The good lady, my colleague, clarified this is money designed for poor folk that need a hand up. And we generally want that to happen in America in an effective manner. So this is the scenario that we are looking into today. Have I summed it up fairly well, Ms. Robbins?
This is the chilling part. Retaliating against whistleblowers isn't just unethical, it's illegal. Threatening pensions, jobs, and livelihoods is how criminal organizations enforce silence. Ask yourself, Why punish the people telling the truth unless the truth is devastating?
Yes, sir. And I would just like to add,
Before you add, Mr. Hudson, is this an effective summary, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you, Ms. Rarick.
Yes.
Thank you. So from the perspective of members of the Fraud Investigative Committee of the Minnesota State Legislature, we have a large criminal network with high percentages of participation in that criminal network from the Somali community in Minnesota. That community has tremendous influence within the political arena, specifically within the Democrat political arena in Minnesota. The Democrat political machine has been covering for this criminal network, and here we go to Governor Walz's involvement here, which is shocking to me, quite frankly, because I've been friendly with Governor Walz for many years. I served with him here. But can you discuss for me?
Quick question for you watching this right now. If your tax dollars were being stolen and the people exposing it were being crushed, who's the real victim here? And more importantly, how many other states are hiding the same playbook?
The governor's administration's involvement in intimidation and oppression and retaliation against whistleblowers. Ms. Robbins, have you had conversations with whistleblowers who have been treated like that by the Walz administration?
yes, I have.
And can you tell us about that? Without naming the person or revealing stuff that's secret, tell us how that retaliation would happen.
So it happens in a variety of ways. They are demoted or reassigned, or they are told that they could lose their job and then their house or their pension or their retirement benefits or not qualify for unemployment. So it's
Well, that's very serious. That's very serious allegation. I would say that's criminal retaliation. Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, have you seen similar?
I would defer to Representative Rourke.
Yes. So Representative Robbins and once in a while Representative Hudson have had multiple conversations with whistleblowers, and that is exactly what they said to us, especially in a face-to-face meeting in St. Paul. That is exactly
Unbelievable.
what they said.
Mr. Chairman, my time has expired, but this leans into the criminal spectrum, sir. I yield.
It's a lot of lawyers talking in circles. But Clay Higgins? He doesn't do boring. He does interrogation. Let's break down exactly what we just saw, because the implications here are actually terrifying for the entire country. First off, Higgins didn't mince words. He called it a criminal network within the Somali community in Minnesota. Now, the mainstream media will try to call him mean names for pointing this out, but look at the facts he laid out. We have a situation where you have stunning percentages of a specific immigrant community participating in government handouts. And this is the problem with the policies pushed by people like Ilhan Omar. When you have mass migration without assimilation, and you combine that with unlimited government welfare, you are creating a recipe for disaster. Higgins points out that this isn't just about helping poor people. This is about a transfer of wealth. He's saying that billions are being siphoned off. And where is it going? He says it's going overseas, and it's coming back to fund Democrat candidates. Think about that. Ilhan Omar and the Minnesota Democrats have been pushing to fill up the state with Somali refugees for years. We were told it was about compassion. But if Higgins is right, it looks less like compassion and more like a business model. They bring people in, get them hooked on government money, the money gets stolen and laundered, and then it gets donated back to the politicians to keep them in power. It's a self-feeding cycle of corruption. They've turned Minneapolis into a fraud zone. Did you catch that line about the childcare centers? Childcare centers with no children in them. This is the feeding our future scandal he's alluding to. They were billing the taxpayer for feeding thousands of kids that didn't exist. It's almost cartoonishly evil. You wake up, go to work, pay your taxes, and that money is sent to a fake business in Minnesota that sends it overseas, all while the politicians in charge look the other way. This is the part that should make you angry. Higgins pivots to Governor Tim Walz. He asks the witnesses, who are Minnesota state legislators, about intimidation and oppression against whistleblowers. And what did Repro Robbins say? She confirmed it. She said whistleblowers are facing demotions, losing their jobs, and even being threatened with losing their pensions. This is the scariest part of the video. It's not just that fraud happened, it's that the Walz administration is actively crushing the good people trying to expose it. That is the behavior of a mob, not a government. If Tim Walz knew this was happening and his administration attacked the people trying to stop it, he shouldn't just be out of office. He should be under investigation right next to the fraudsters. Clay Higgins is one of the few people in Washington brave enough to say the quiet part out loud. He's connecting the dots between mass migration, the welfare state, and the corrupt Democrat political machine. Minnesota is a warning to the rest of the U.S. If we don't get serious about vetting, if we don't stop this open borders, open checkbook mentality that Ilhan Omar loves so much, every state is going to look like this. Hats off to Rep. Higgins for grilling them. We need more of this. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Walz was involved in the cover-up? And what do you think about the $9 billion number? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.